Hello children, how are you all? Welcome to the session. So children, today in this session we will be learning chapter 2, Is Matter Around Us Pure? So children, in your earlier classes you have already learned what is a mixture, solution, suspension and colloidal solution, and also about Tyndall effect and how to separate the components of mixture using different methods, that is by evaporation and centrifugation, and also how to separate a mixture of two immiscible liquids, and how to separate a mixture of two solids. So these all you have learned in your earlier sessions. So children, today let us continue our new session with separation of mixtures with some more methods, that is how to separate the mixtures of a component if the mixture are of two miscible liquids, that is how to separate a mixture of two miscible liquids. So first of all, before going to the explanation, first I want to clear the word miscible. What do you mean by miscible? So in your earlier class, you have already learnt about immiscible. So immiscible means that is the mixtures won't get mixed up together. Is it? They form layers. When you are mixing two mixtures, they won't get mixed. They form layers, separate layers. For example, oil and water. So when you mix oil in water, what happens? They won't mix together because they are not friends, is it? So here what happens? The oil, after some time, it will start to form a layer above the surface of water. So these type of liquids which are not friends together, they are called as immiscible liquids. So the opposite of immiscible is miscible. If in immiscible, the mixtures will not mix up together. Then opposite of immiscible is miscible. In miscible, the mixtures will mix up together. Okay, if you take any two mixtures, they will mix up together and we cannot identify which is what mixture here. Okay, they will, for example, water and sugar. If you add sugar in water and dissolve it, what happens? Can you identify sugar there? Can we see sugar? No, it becomes a homogeneous solution, is it? We can't identify sugar there. Oh yes, sugar is present in this solution. By tasting only we can come to know, oh, sugar is added there. So here they form a homogeneous mixture. Okay, so these miscible liquids form a homogeneous mixture. So it becomes for us difficult to identify the two mixtures. So now how to separate these mixtures? By mistake, if any two mixtures like water and your nail polish remover are mixed up, then how to remove it? How to separate it? Yes, there is a method called distillation. So we can separate mixture of two miscible liquids by the method of simple distillation. Okay, so here in the picture you can see the apparatus setup. This is the thermometer and here the distillation flask, and in the flask you can see the mixture of acetone and water, and you can see the clamps here. Okay, and water condenser, then a beaker to collect the acetone. So how acetone is coming out of that condenser? So let's learn it in detail now. Okay, so first, distillation involves conversion of a liquid into vapors by heating. Okay, so what happens here in distillation? It involves conversion of a liquid into vapors by heating, followed by condensation of the vapors, thus produced by cooling. So children, here two mixtures, that is water and acetone, are mixed up now, and we need to separate acetone. Acetone is nothing but the nail polish remover which you use to remove the nail polish from your nails. So have you seen that? Yes, many of you might have seen. So it will be like water only. It is also like water, is it? Yeah. So here, when you keep water and acetone in front of you, you can't identify which is water and which is acetone. Just by the smell by the odor we can identify, because water doesn't have any odor, and acetone has its own odor. By the odor we come to know this is water and this is acetone. If you are not seeing the odor, we can't identify which is water and which is acetone, because they both look similar, and when they are mixed up, so now this is the process to separate, that is distillation. So here this distillation involves conversion of a liquid into vapors by heating. Okay, and then followed by condensation. After heating, what happens? The liquid starts to boil and it will change its state from liquid to vapor, and those vapors are condensed by cooling. Okay, they are condensed by cooling, and then again those vapors are changed into the liquid state. So distillation is used for separation of compounds of mixtures containing two miscible liquids which boil without decomposition and have sufficient difference, that is 25 Kelvin in their boiling points. So one important point here is that distillation is used for the separation of two components of a mixture containing two miscible liquids which boil without decomposition. So after boiling, they should not decompose, and they should have sufficient difference in their boiling points. Difference in their boiling points, there should be how much difference? 25 Kelvin. 25 Kelvin or 25 degree Celsius. This should be the difference. So here the boiling point of acetone is 56 degrees Celsius. Okay, boiling point of acetone is what? 56 degrees Celsius. Whereas boiling point of water, we know that the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. So there is a lot of difference now here in the boiling point, is it? So boiling point of water is 100 and boiling point of acetone is 56. So more than so nearly we can get here 25 degrees Celsius difference, is it? So now, so because of this reason, we can use this simple distillation method to separate water and acetone, because the boiling point has the difference here of 25 Kelvin or 25 degree Celsius. Then the separation of liquid mixture into individual components can be achieved at their respective boiling points. So this point also you have to note. The separation of the liquid mixture into individual components can be achieved at their respective boiling points only. So here by now you know acetone's boiling point is 56 and water boiling point is 100 degree. So which liquid will start to boil first? Of course acetone, because its boiling point is less, that is 56 degree. So as the water will start to boil from 0, it will rise to 5, 10, 20 degrees Celsius, and as it reaches 56 degrees Celsius, you can see acetone boiling in the distillation flask there, and the thermometer will also show the reading there 56. when the thermometer will show the reading 56 degrees Celsius, the acetone starts to boil and it will change its state from liquid to vapor. Okay, and as this acetone is more volatile. What do you mean by the word more volatile? More volatile means it will evaporate at low temperature. Okay, so these substances which are more volatile, they will start to evaporate. They will start to change their state in low temperatures. Okay, they don't need a high temperature. In low temperature only they will change their state. For example, this acetone only, if you keep it open, if the acetone bottle, if without closing its cork, if you keep it open and if you go and see the next day, you can find half of the acetone will be evaporated. Only if you keep full bottle, the next day you see only half bottle is remaining, because in the room temperature only half of the acetone will evaporate. Because of this reason, this is called as more volatile. More volatile means it will evaporate for low temperature itself, whereas water is less volatile. Less volatile means it needs high temperature to evaporate, that is 100 degrees Celsius. Boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. At 100 degrees Celsius, water starts to boil and change its state. Okay, so at 50, as the temperature reading shows 56 degrees Celsius, acetone starts to boil and the acetone will change its states from liquid to vapor, and that acetone will pass through this distillation flask and it will flow through the water condenser. There will be a small tube here. You can see this small tube. Through that tube, this acetone will pass. Okay, and now after passing through this, when the vapors of this acetone are passing through this tube, what happens here? The water condenser, you can see here, no, the water condenser, that will condense, that will start condensing the vapors. Okay, so you know condensation. So here the vapors will be condensed and the acetone will change its states from liquid, from the vapor, and after condensation again it will come to the liquid state and be collected in the beaker here. And one more important point, so you can see here cold water in and water outlet. So why these two, water in and water outlet, is given here? See, if there are no outlets, what happens is, so as the acetone will boil, as the acetone starts boiling, vapors will be formed and those vapors will be very hot. Okay, as they will pass through the tube, this water will condense the vapors. So as it will be condensing, the water also starts to heat, is it? And if the water starts to heat, can it condense the vapor? No, it cannot condense the vapor, because water itself, it is hot. Hot water cannot condense. So because of this reason, the water will be flowing through the inlet and the hot water, it doesn't become hot all of a sudden. Because of this reason, so here there is inlet, because there will be continuous flow of water, so that the water should not raise its temperature, and if the water starts to heat, it will not condense the vapor. Because of this reason, there will be a flow of water inlet and the water will be coming out, so that in the condenser the water will be always cool, so as to condense the vapor. So understood now, children? So this is the process of simple distillation, that is separating two miscible liquids by the process of distillation. So children, thanks for watching the video. In the next session, we will continue with next fractional distillation. Thank you.